Hi guys, Chris here from Soundproof Expert. Today we're going to be going down to Reading to do a garage conversion, something we haven't actually shown on the channel before. We've got measurements that the customer has sent, but we haven't actually been to measure. So what we've done is we've got a few full panels. So when I mean full panels, I mean, I'll show you what they are. Just the stud walls that are going to go inside the garage. So we've got some full panels made up here to the right height. So we're going to get those in the van, and then we've got insulation, we've got electric, so it's all going in today and tomorrow. So we'll bring you guys back once we're a bit further on. Okay guys, we're just at the garage studio in Reading. Let's just have a little look around and see what it's like. So there's going to be a couple of parts to the studio, actually 3 parts. So there's the main room, and then there's going to be a storage area and a waiting room, because the guy who we're doing the studio for does a bit of teaching. Let's just have a little look around and see what it's like inside. Wow, yeah. Okay, so quite a tall garage, which is quite unusual, and it seems like quite a decent size. I think it's about 3 meters across, or 302, and something like 6 meters long, which is great, really. It's a good size, because a lot of modern garages are kind of a lot smaller than this. We've got obviously these brick columns which we can sort of put insulation up to. These are just supporting the block work. Got a couple of columns around the door there. Obviously this is a concrete base that the inside the garage, so we're going to have like a subfloor that's floating here. We've got a door there to outside, so there's going to be a door, one of our doors going outside, and then obviously one internally, so it's like a double door system. So essentially from the door onwards, this is all going to be the main part of the studio, and then here is going to be split between a storage area there and also a waiting room. So essentially you'll access the storage area from the roller shutters there, and then the waiting room will have its own door around here. Because we haven't actually taken any measurements, we just built a few panels to get the thing started, and we've got 2 days to try and get from this to what I'm going to show you now. So yeah, great. It's lovely and tall, this. Okay, so we'll bring you guys back once we're a bit further on. I think the first thing we do is get damp-proof course round, and then start setting up some base plates just to define the walls, and then we'll put the rock wool in after. We're also going to have to deal with the electrics here, because we've got some inherited switches and sockets. That one's powering the door at the moment, so we'll have to keep that in some capacity. We've got a light there, which is switched from here, but what we'll probably do is just rip those out, obviously put some new feeds in. This is the main armoured coming in, which it's a 40 amp supply, so that's the supply we've got at the moment. So first thing we're going to do is get these 4x2 base plates down. We're going about, what's this distance, 11.5?
Not yet.
Hopefully 11.5 from here, which will just pass these bricks. Got a bit of a DPC that's going to go underneath that. Make sure it's 11.5.
No, it's not 11.5, it's 115 mil.
Well, you've put 11 centimetres on there. Oh well, right, let's crack on. So we pretty much got the perimeter base plates down for the drum studio bit. We've just popped down the damp-proof membrane, so essentially we'll have insulation down here. We're gonna put the insulation against the walls. We've got some of this, come around here, gun grade expanding foam, which is more of an adhesive. So we're gonna stick on the soundproof bats to the wall, which are 120 by 60, 100 mil. Sort of go up pretty high to here, and then obviously we'll have an inner wall which will have some insulation in it as well. Okay, so we've got the base plates in all the way round. This is going to be a double wall with some insulation in between. We're going to have insulation behind this stud work against the wall, so we're going to put that in next, I think. And then we're going to build up stud work up here, which will contain another layer of insulation. So yeah, we've got also PJ's been doing electrics, so I've been stripping out all the electrics so we can repurpose those for the studio. Obviously we're going to have to think about the door here and where this finishes, etc. But yeah, we're just waiting for the client to get back so we can put the power back on, because that has tripped out.
And I need a wee.
And Jacob needs a wee, so yep. And then, so this, see what you think. This is going to be like a little waiting room, but we think it's probably going to be a little bit too small. This side's going to be a storage area. Maybe we try and talk the client into making this all a storage area, because I don't think it's going to work, is it?
Storage area.
Jacob, just sit there like as if you were sat in the waiting area. Oh yeah, you got a little chair there. That's it. It's not ridiculous. Well, pretend to read a paper. Yeah, so it's maybe a little bit small. I don't know, we'll have to see what he thinks. So yeah, I think the next thing we'll do is get some of the insulation on the walls, get those up, and then we can start getting some of the walls in. Okay, we'll bring you guys back once we're a bit further on. So we're just building up the insulation against this wall. We've never actually used this before, but it's expanding foam adhesive, which seems to work pretty well, but it does take a little bit more time to go off. But it seems to be sticking actually. So I think we'll get this wall built up really to these rafters, which I think is going to be 4 sections because it's just over 2.4. Actually, I think it's just 2.4 to there. And then we'll start working round. We've decided on the waiting room area is going to be a little bit bigger, so I'll make the storage area a little bit smaller, which is, better for if anyone's waiting in there, or that could be used actually as a little computer room at a later date. But we're just having a bit of a quandary with the electrics because we can't get them back on. They're just, even though they're on in the house, this keeps tripping off. So we're not sure why, because none of these are actually on, unless it's just because it's a little bit old. And sometimes they do go, but we've only got this socket on. We've tested it. We've actually got power coming from the armoured cable to here. These are off. That was the lighting circuit. This one's just for this radial socket. But yeah, we just can't turn it on. And we're trying, so well, if anyone knows why that isn't working, put a note in the comments. Anyway, we're gonna have a brew and then get the rest of this insulation in. Right guys, we have got 4 slabs of rock wool to make around 240. Obviously got this wall, that wall, all just sounds a little bit different in here. So this is essentially the section that's going to be the drum room up to the door where PJ is, and also a little bit on the left there. The next thing we're going to do is obviously start putting some of the stud work in. We've actually Jacob's actually pre-made some of those, so we're going to slot some in. We're going to build some as we go because we didn't really have the exact measurements. The other thing we've got to do obviously is going to have a secondary ceiling, so a floating ceiling, and we also need to work out the ventilation system. So I think we're going to have to drill through this side. Obviously, if you can see up there, PJ? It's got quite a bit of height there, haven't we? So we can put all the vents in the roof void, and obviously get maybe an outlet fan there and one on the other side, so they can be above the roof level. Yeah, there's a bit of rock wool to go in here. Obviously, Jacob's just building the little area. Actually, yeah, built the base plates in a little area there, which is going to be the waiting room and then storage area on the right. So yeah, it's going to be a couple of hours. We're kind of getting on, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's all good. We'll bring you guys back once we're a bit further on. Thank you. So Jacob's doing the cuts. We're just going to put them in and build it as we go. This is how we used to do it. Right. guys, that's us finished for today. Let's just have a little look around and see what progress we made. This is going to be the exterior entrance to part of the studio. It's actually going to be just this storage area bit, so there can be obviously drums and stuff there for gigs and whatnot. There's a little bit of storage here. We've obviously had to build just right up to that to avoid the roller shutter door. This will obviously be closed off here, so there'll be a wall going across. We've left that open for now so we can get in and out whilst we're building. Yeah, so we got all the walls up. Obviously there's rock wool behind here, and then we've got a 4-inch stud wall which will have more rock wool in it. There'll be a soundproof triple wall going all the way across here. There'll be a door here going into a waiting room. We've made this a tiny bit bigger because it was looking a little bit small, and we think that this might also double up as maybe like a little tiny office or a little control room in the future if the client wishes to sort of use it for that. But yeah, it's quite a decent sized room actually. We've got the door there which is going to be replaced with one of our soundproof doors, and then obviously another door internally. Yeah, so that's all taking shape. We're going to be back tomorrow, get the rest of the stud work up. We're going to be getting the second ceiling in, so we're going to have timbers going across here which is decoupled from the main structure. Hopefully by the end of play tomorrow we'll have all the sort of inner shell structure in place and some of the electrics. We've also had a bit of an issue with the existing power supply because we can't actually switch this back on, and it's all off, and we've checked there's only actually that socket that's on. Well, it's not even on at the moment, but that socket's the only thing attached and there's power going to it. So what we think is that this is quite old and it's obviously never been tested. So, oh, it's back on now. That's amazing. Right, okay, let's try that. Power. Oh no, it's gone off again. I think this is just, because we've actually switched it off to take the lights out, that it's just actually over time, it's just because it's never probably been tested, it's just gone faulty now. So we've just got an extension lead so we can actually close the garage doors. So that's all from us today, guys. We shall see you in the morning. We're just back this morning. We're going to be getting the roof structure in underneath this one. We're going to have to work out how we're going to arrange the rock wool above that. We've got electrics to do. We've got a couple of vents to drill out with the 4-inch hole cutter. This is going to be the waiting room. So we got a door sort of enclosure to build here. This is going to be a wall straight across. So we'll probably do that. Well, actually, yeah, we'll get that done. It's going to lose our access to outside unless we take one of these noggins out. Yeah, so a bit of work to do this morning. We've also got a new consumer unit for there, which hopefully will replace that plastic one with a metal one, which will be up to regs then. Yeah, so quite a bit to do. We're just going to crack on and we'll bring you guys back once we're a bit further on. So just deciding where to put the ducting for the air intake and outtake. One option was to drill through this wall, but I've also noticed that that's actually part of the neighbour's property. So if I drill through there, it's going to come out into the neighbour's property, so I can't do that. And then there's not much other option above here, but one idea I've just actually come up with is to run the ducting from the back, or probably from the middle somewhere on either side. Have one of the ductings coming through here and then actually through this soffit. So if we do a 4-inch hole here, and then that would go to sort of an inline fan in here and then into the room, which is sucking air out. And then the other side, we could do another 4-inch hole here. And then basically they're going to be easy to drill through because they're just plastic. So that'll probably solve that problem. And then the ducting will run into the ceiling of the room on either side. Yeah, that should work. And then we got PJ's just doing some work on the electrical. So what we've actually worked out is, well, what size is this cable? 2.5 mil. So it's a little bit underrated to have loads of sockets and stuff, and we're not going to be able to do a ring main off that. So we'll have to do a radial circuit, so around 4 or 5 sockets, and we're going to put this consumer unit in, which has obviously got a new breaker there, which is basically the issue, and also that's a plastic board, so it really needs to be metal. So we'll have to change this 32 amp breaker for a 16. I think actually we've got one with us. We'll do a radial circuit for the sockets with 5 on, and then obviously we've got our lighting and fan, which will be fine. So yeah, I'm going to drill through these. PJ's doing that. Jacob's on the phone. And I didn't say that at all. Got a 4-inch hole cutter.
No, don't mess that bit up.
Honestly,
I need it in a minute.
we need this. We've gone through we've snapped a few of these, so if you don't have that, it'll just fly around. So we've got a new one of those. We got 2 of those actually.
What if we tried improvising with screws, a bit of broken alloy?
Yeah, and we're on a 1 speed, so fingers crossed this is all right. Have you done it? I've got to do the other side yet. Oh. This side is going to go from there to an inline fan somewhere here and then into the room, so it sucks air out of the room, and this is where it's going to exhaust. And on this side it's just going to be passive, so it'll run from there to somewhere past Jacob into the ceiling and bring fresh air in. Yeah. Okay, so we've got this wall's all built now around the door, or this section, and we've got the double, so there's going to be a double wall across here. Obviously there'll be a door there where Jacob is for the, which is going to be the waiting room. So we're just building that sort of door opening there. PJ's done the electrics now, so we've got a working power supply. That's all sorted, so that's good. And it's starting to absolutely chuck it down. And it's getting really cold in here. So what we're going to do is just get this little bit finished off here, and then we'll concentrate on getting the roof in. So it'll be putting some timbers across here and the other side, and then literally joining them across with another timber to make a lower ceiling, and then we'll work out how we're going to get the insulation in. So we may do that as we go, but we'll see how we get on. Yeah, so we'll bring you guys back once we're a bit further on.
You can brag. I say that I have it, you know that I got it. No need to look all in the bag. Stunting like this cause I work so hard. I'm the best, I only speak facts. In the store, I'm popping them tags. A limited seller with that. Clout chasing for the cash grab. I don't really want it that bad. If I say that I have it, you know that I got it. No need to look all in the bag. Stunting like this cause I work so hard. I'm the best, I only speak facts. In the store, I'm popping them tags. A limited seller with that. Clout chasing for the cash grab. I don't really want it that bad. I'm trying to cop a milli while I keep my soul intact. Been through a lot, I learned to adapt. Never let struggles make me snap. Around the world, about to be on maps. Got a cute face, but it seemed like a trap. Pockets on glow, soul on no. In a chateau, counting that big.
So that's some of the roof panels on, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across. And we're just finishing those on a 120. So obviously the plasterboard can then finish, and then the next one can actually go to another 120 spot, which is going to be about here. We've got a layer of insulation in the roof. We're just going to complete this section here up to about there as much as we can. Obviously get the rest of these timbers in, and then that's probably it, isn't it, for today? Apart from a few bits of electrics that
I'm driving home, gotta do that too.
got a couple of 6 metre flexible hoses to go in. One's probably going to come to about here to the front, and then from this side all the way to the front for now. That should help us for when we next come. Oh, just turn around. Big shout out to today's sponsor, soundshirts.com, for all your music inspired hoodies and t-shirts. Use code SPE10 for a 10% discount. Full link in the description. Okay guys, that's us done for today. Let's just have a little look around and see where we got up to. So a little bit different from yesterday. This is around 10 hours of work for 3 of us, and we also did quite a bit of prefabrication. So some of these wall panels, we sort of estimated how many full ones we need, and then we just really filled in with some of the the detail, so that obviously speed things up a bit. But essentially we've got a good layer of insulation behind the walls right up to the brickwork, and then we've got our stud work in front, which is decoupled in the sense that it's not touching. There is some gaps, quite small, but it is off the brickwork. And we've also dropped this second ceiling in, so essentially this is a floating ceiling. We've put some rock wool in the voids there above. So if you remember from early on in the video, this is quite a big ceiling. Obviously that's left as an air gap. So we've got a radial circuit for the sockets. We've got about 4 sockets in here, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we've got this area in here, which is going to be a little waiting room. So this is going to be closed off in this area. But we also came up with the idea that this could be used as a little tiny computer room or control room at a later date. The door here is going to have a little window in it. So I guess if people are having lessons, parents could, wait in here and read the paper. So it's going to be a soundproof door, this one. This is a triple wall here. So we're going to have rock wool in the outer 2 leaves and rock wool in the middle. Obviously this is going to be a soundproof door and another soundproof door on the inside. And then through here, this is going to be a storage area here for gig stuff. Obviously got a roller shutter door there. So that's just going to come down. Obviously the reason for that is obviously it saves quite a bit of space with the traditional up and over door, which I think was here before. Got our new consumer unit in, giving power, that's all working. We've noted that it's a 2.5 armoured cable coming from the house. That's one of the reasons why we're doing a radial circuit, because we can only do a 16 amp circuit rather than a ring main, which obviously needs a 32. Yeah, so we're pretty happy with that, and we're going to show the customer around shortly. So we're going up north now, so thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.